So I got this new stereo. It was working perfectly for about a day. Trying to show the box here, but I guess it's too dark for the number. It is 27 AQT U72-03. Anyways, in the radio app, there is no RDS data, and I saw on a forum that the setting was somewhere up under the factory settings. So I went into the factory settings and tried looking for it. Didn't see it, but did see the touchscreen calibration, because I remember the power button was doing some mute features, and I wanted to make sure they were set up right. So I went in there and made sure these left-hand red buttons were assigned to what they were supposed to be. And as soon as I did that, my touchscreen no longer functioned for anything else. There is a touchscreen calibration, what they call a learn or study, but that would never work. So I'm still stuck. I emailed a post on the forum, but that was late Friday, and I have not yet got a response. Hopefully they will respond, and hopefully there will be a file they can send me that can fix this or something, because like I said, it was working perfectly, and I believe the hardware is fine. It's just there's some kind of software problem. I think their calibration app is screwed up. I don't even think it was made for this model, because there's a place in there, which I will show you in just a moment, that says it needs to be set for a larger display instead of this 800 by 480 display. The only way I can actually use it right now is by this dongle on the USB that, well, again, it's dark, you can't see it, but it allows me to use a plug-in Android keyboard, and the keyboard has a touchpad on it, so I can navigate the radio with that, but there's nothing I can do that will straighten this out. But I'll go through and show you what I've found so far and what I've tried. So here we see the mouse cursor from the keyboard, and when you go into the car setting, factory settings, there's that information. Hopefully it's visible and legible. One of the things you're supposed to be able to do is do a factory reset to erase everything. Why the option doesn't exist in the standard Android menu, I don't know. It's not even there. But you're supposed to be able to do it here. Basically do a factory reset, erase your accounts, erase all your apps. And according to a post I said, there's not supposed to be a password. So if I just click done, and we see there's no password, I hit OK, it says password error input again. I've tried different numbers, nothing works. So this is not working. The factory setting here is where I went to look for the RDS radio settings and where I got into the calibration. The code that I did find for that does work, 1617, and I tried doing the reset factory, when you do reset factory, you confirm, and it says successful, will restart in 3 seconds. But when it comes back up, you will see that there is no change at all. Now everything else on this thing is working. Like I said, those red buttons on the left, they do appear to be part of the touchscreen, and they are working. The steering wheel controls do work.
She said, all I've ever wanted.
You see the volume control does work. Let me get back into the car settings, factory settings. 1617. And like I said, originally, right now my touch screen is not responding, but originally it was working. See, it's kind of sort of responding, but not where I press. So let me put this back the way they had it. And everything was fine until I went down to the touch study. And this is where I wanted to check the assignment of those red buttons on the left. And you do that under touch update. I'm sorry, touch study brings up the app, and the touch study in the middle lets you assign those buttons. And this does work. But you see at the top it says check the touchscreen display resolution of 1024 by 600. And of course this model radio, the 27AQT072-03, has a 800 by 480, I believe, display. But this does work, and I can show that by going down. Again, I'm using the keyboard dongle, and I will start. Press power. I want to assign that to the power button, and get a little green marker there. Do the same thing for the home. Do the same thing for the back. And they're in order, pretty much going down the left hand side. And that one didn't do the first time. There we go. And finally the volume down. Now that's all the buttons on that left hand side there. I'm not going to worry about any of these others. So I'll go ahead and hit end, and it says success. And now, like I said, the volume works, volume down, back button works, home button works. The power button still mutes in certain things. Hit it again, it unmutes. There. Or it goes into sleep mode too. And you hit it again, it comes back on. So that does work. But it's the other calibration that does not work. And I have tried all kinds of things because as soon as I reassigned those buttons like I just did, I lost my screen calibration. I didn't even try going into the screen calibration at first. I wasn't interested in that. I only went in there when all of a sudden my screen did not work anymore. So let me show you what it does when we try getting in there. This is touch calibration, which should allow you to calibrate the screen. Now it says please click on the touch screen at the edge of the red dot position. right now there's this red dot over here on the left hand side. So you would think you would press your finger there, and then at the top, and then there's one over the right, and then one at the bottom, and you press confirm. Well, nothing happens unless you're a little off, and then it says failed. Now, that's all it does. Can never get it to work, no matter what. Now there is a setting in Android, I'm going to go ahead and get out of this and lose my changes. There is a setting in Android that displays where you're touching it on the screen, and if I go in here and turn it on, it will show where it thinks you're pressing, which seems to me to show that the display is working. It's just all confused. It's not. It's like this. The X and Y axes are all out of whack or something. I think their software is screwed up. It needs an update. There is a update here that if I had the file, maybe that would fix it. Or under the factory setting, under touch study, there's the touch update. Maybe that, I think it says touch upgrade file not found. Maybe that would straighten out my calibration app. I don't know. But if we go into the Android settings, and I see normally on Android there's a thing here that says it's usually under accounts, and it lets you basically reset it back to factory, and they just omitted it here for whatever reason. But what I was getting at is about the display of the where you press. If you go to About Device, see we are running Android 6.01, and the build number, kind of hard to make out up there, is K2001 JCS211060905.135755514. But if you click a bunch of times on the Android 6.001, oops, too many times, you get this, I think it's like a debugging menu, and if you scroll down to show touches, and I'm going to go ahead and do the pointer location too. No, that's not the one. We'll just do show touches. I think that's all we need. Okay. Now, let me see if I can get my finger here. Look at the little round thing down to the bottom right of my finger. That's where it thinks my finger is at. That is not correct. This thing is backwards. And see, all the way at the top left is all the way at the bottom right of that thing. I go here to the right and it's up here. It's like, what is it doing? It is confused about the format of my display, or the X and the Y is backwards, or I don't know. In the calibration screen, I tried tapping other sides of the screen instead of where the red dot was at, in all different kinds of combinations, and nothing would work though. But basically, until I get this thing fixed, this radio is useless without carrying around a keyboard in my truck, which I'm not going to do. So I'm going to post this on YouTube, and we'll see what it takes to get it fixed, and I will be sure to report back what we find out. And if anybody has any input on this or some insight that would be helpful, I'd appreciate it. Thank you.